Thank you. Brother Terrence, I just want to tell you I appreciate your presentation. Coach Leonard was very close with Brother Si all those years, and I think for every Coach Leonard story that I have, he had 2 Brother Si stories. And I had heard the one about the gallon of paint, gallon of beer, 12 or 15 times. Dustin, Mike, Michelle, you guys did such a great job. I have nothing original left to say. I echo a lot of their sentiment. 4 years, had a great time. I look back on it finally, and missed the competitive part. I remember along the way they said you're not going to necessarily miss the games and the travel and the buses, but what you're going to miss is out here on the practice court and in the locker room, the camaraderie, back in the dorms, Highland Strip, Midtown. And that was the case. It was being with the guys, doing our thing, and everybody moving in the same direction and the same goal. And that is something that I think after school, frankly, was missing. And it took me a while to kind of get through that and to learn from that experience how I could relate it going forward. But I did. When I got the call from Coach Nate in December, I guess, I thanked him for it and was excited about it. And when I told folks about the award, there was really 2 responses. One response was to stand up here and tell Coach Leonard stories. And the other one, somebody told me not to say a word, don't talk about yourself, just sit down and don't embarrass me. And she is sitting right over there. She said, "Dad, nobody wants to hear about how you play basketball. Everybody already knows." She said, "Tell them something that they don't know." And what is that? She said, just tell them that you like to eat cake. And then sit down. So, honey, I'm here to tell everybody that I like to eat cake. And 2 quick things. This is the part of the ceremony where we get back on track from a time standpoint. I'd like to tell the story how I was almost arrested. We were coming back from Nashville after a particularly frustrating loss, and there were 2 vans. We had the good vans, apparently. Even though one rattled really badly and we didn't pack the bags against it, it was leaked. It's horrible. All of a sudden, the flashing lights are behind us. Coach was not happy to begin with. I don't know, Murphy, where's Ed? Were you driving the other, the trailing van? And so we pull off, and everybody is dead silent on the bus. And the state trooper walks up. Charlie rolls his window down. And the guy looks at him, and the coach says, "How much room do you have?" He said, looked at him and said, what are you talking about? He said, "Well, I want you to take all 13 of these guys in for vagrancy." He broke the ice a little bit, and he said, "Well, what's the rush?" And he said, "Well, we're late. We're trying to get back for practice." And the officer looked at his watch. It was 10:30 at night, and we were still at I think we were still above the Tennessee River, maybe. So we came back and practiced. He had pity on us. He let us go. We came back and practiced. That was the closest I ever got to being arrested in my 4 years. Well. The other Charlie Leonard story I would tell goes back before that, and I think it embodies what Christian Brothers means to me, and I think what it means to a lot of folks out here. And it was 20 years ago, next month. It was my recruiting trip in March of '91. And Charlie had always recruited, or had some folks from the Chicago area, and there's several here tonight from the Chicago area, so he was familiar with the area. There was a connection with the brothers in that part of the country. So we're going through the process, recruiting, and we're going to school, we're going to play, we're going to be a student. And I always wanted to play ball in college. That was going to be my ticket. I think at a very young age, if you want to go to college, go shoot jump shots. So we did that, I did everything I was supposed to do, and we're getting to that point, and I find out in the process that these scholarships were only for 1 year. And as we're talking to various schools, everybody's talking about a 1-year deal, a half scholarship, you can walk on, try this, do that. So when I finally agreed to come down to Christian Brothers, flew in and came on campus, met everybody. I was amazed when I got here because I couldn't believe you could put that much beer in one bottle. But that's a better story for later. So anyway, so we play, we get done, we're getting ready to go back to the airport, and I'm sitting in Coach's office, and he said, well, what do you think? I said, well, I had a great trip. I like the guys, city's fine, this, that, and whatever. And he said, we'd like you to come. And I told him I appreciated that, and I asked him about the 1-year scholarship. And he said, he looked at me across the desk and he said, I'm telling you that we want you to come here. And yes, it is a 1-year commitment, but I am committing to you, this may be illegal, I don't even know. And he said, I'm committing to you that if something happens to you, you blow your knee out the first week of practice, I will make you the highest paid scorekeeper in NCAA. And that really resonated with me at the time, and it was something I'd never heard from anyone else along the way. And that, along with various other factors, led to my decision to come to Christian Brothers. And looking back, while I was thinking about tonight and what it means to me, I think that attitude really embodies what Christian Brothers is, and the people here and the folks that dedicate their lives to the mission. They're committed to the students. They're not just to the student athletes, or to the athletes, rather. They're committed to the students. And that always stuck with me. I believe it to be true today. And I could not be more pleased with my decision to come to Christian Brothers 20 years ago. So, thank you.